بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is Unit 1, Pairwork. But before we begin the lesson, let's open our workbooks, page 81. Page 81, exercise A. Complete the sentences with the words from the books. Complete the sentences with the words from the books. So we have a few words here: astonished, bilingual, fascinated, irritated, puzzled, and remarkable. So we will read here and we will be filling these gaps, number 1, 2, 3, 4, with the correct word. As we can see, fascinated is already taken out here with the first one. Susan is fascinated by bugs. When she sees one, she puts it in a jar and keeps it. Also, she has many books about different kinds of insects. And last summer, she even went to bug camp. So let's answer number 1 here. Number 1. Kiko she was born in Japan, but she moved to the US when she was young. Now she can speak Japanese and English perfectly. Again, Kiko she was born in Japan, but moved to the US when she was young. Now she can speak Japanese and English perfectly. So she can speak English and also she can speak Japanese. So she can speak 2 languages here. So what's the answer here? Is it astonished, bilingual, irritated, puzzled, or remarkable? So that's correct. Kiko is bilingual. And if you remember from yesterday, we took bilingual. It means someone who speaks 2 languages. Also, the word bi, it means 2. For example, bicycle, because it has 2 wheels, that's why we call it the bicycle. Number 2, I often feel when I'm around my younger brother. He never stops talking or bothering me. Also, he tries to make me play little kid games. I wish he would just leave me alone. Again, here, number 2, I often feel when I'm around my younger brother. He never stops talking or bothering me. Also, he tries to make me play little kid games. I wish he would just leave me alone. So, is it here astonished, irritated, puzzled, or remarkable? As you can see, number 2, someone who doesn't enjoy being with his brother for the time being, of course. He's always annoying him. So let's see the correct answer here. I often feel irritated, annoyed, irritated when I'm around my younger brother. He never stops talking or bothering me. Also, he tries to make me play little kid games. I wish he would just leave me alone. So it means that he is irritated by his brother. Number 3, Asma's teacher said her paper was, she gave her an A and also asked to keep a copy of it because it was so good. Again, number 3 here, Asma's teacher said her paper was, she gave her an A and also asked to keep a copy of it because it was so good. So the teacher said that her paper was what? Astonished, puzzled, or remarkable. So Asma's teacher said her paper was, yes, very good, remarkable, amazing. She gave her an A. Also, she asked to keep a copy of it because it was so good. So the paper was so good and remarkable that the teacher wanted to keep a copy of it. Continuing here, number 4, I am by the number of people who don't like school. It's amazing. We need school if we want to get anywhere in the world. I think they're all crazy. Again, here, number 4, I'm by the number of people who don't like school. It's amazing. We need school if you want to get anywhere in the world. I think they're all crazy. So We have two left here. I'm astonished or I'm puzzled. So the correct answer here is I am, yes, astonished. I am astonished by the number of people who don't like school. I'm astonished, I'm amazed by the number of people who don't like school. It's amazing. We need school if you want to get anywhere in the world. I think they're all crazy. Last one here, number 5. I have lost one of my shoes and I'm totally by it. I thought I took them both off at the door last night, but this morning only one of them was there. I've looked everywhere, but I can't find it. I'm so confused. So he's confused. So which word is the answer here? Yes, very good. There's only one left, which is puzzled. Puzzled, of course, it's the same meaning as confused. So again, I have lost one of my shoes and I'm totally puzzled by it. I thought I took them both off at the door last night, but this morning, only one of them was there. I've looked everywhere, but I can't find it. I'm so confused. So confused here is the same meaning as puzzled. Very good. Let's jump to the next exercise here on the page 81. Same page, page 81, exercise B. Right, answer the questions. Answer the questions. So you can answer these questions giving your own opinion, your own view about things. So let's read the questions together and answer them according to your own opinion. Number 1, what fascinates you? Number 2, do you know anybody who's bilingual? What languages can he or she speak? Number 3, tell about a time when you were puzzled. Number 4, tell about a time when you were irritated. So number 1, what fascinates you? What fascinates you? What amazes you? Something that keeps you fascinated, something you say about it, amazing. Of course, many things. Just give me one example. Okay, very good. For example, here I've written the internet fascinates me. Of course, the internet is extremely fascinating. I don't understand how it works. The internet fascinates me. I don't understand how it works. For example, for me, internet fascinates me. It's extremely large and huge and connecting people to other people. So that's what fascinates me. And of course, I don't understand how it works because I'm not an expert in the internet. Number 2, do you know anybody who is bilingual? What languages can he or she speak? Do you know anyone who is bilingual, who speaks 2 languages? And what are these 2 languages? Maybe you know someone who speaks Arabic and English, or maybe Arabic and Chinese, for example. So if you know anyone, just give his name or her name and what languages can he or she speak. For example, my friend can speak Spanish and English. My friend can speak Spanish and English, and of course also Arabic. That's why I say here bilingual, because he speaks 2 languages, Spanish and English. Number 3, tell about a time when you were puzzled. Tell about a time when you were puzzled. Tell a story. Tell me about a time when you were puzzled, you were confused about something. Things don't add up in this situation. Of course, you've been through a lot of these situations where you were puzzled, you were confused, you don't know what to do. For example, here I've written, I was puzzled this morning when I couldn't find my car keys. I was puzzled this morning when I couldn't find my car keys. I've searched for them everywhere. Eventually, of course, I found them, but in the beginning, I was puzzled. I couldn't remember where I left them. Number 4, tell about a time when you were irritated. Tell about a time when you were irritated, you were confused, just like the one who was irritated by his little brother. He was always annoying him, making him play kids' games. So tell me about a time, or tell your friend about a time when you were irritated about something, annoyed by something, and so on. For example, here I said, I was irritated last night when I wanted to watch TV, but my sister was already watching a game show. So sometimes you want to watch a specific show on TV, but your little sister or little brother, they want to watch maybe kids shows. So you'll be starting to argue which channel to put and so on. So again, I've written here, I was irritated last night when I wanted to watch TV, but my sister was already watching a game show. Of course, you can come up with anything that annoys you. I was irritated when I was standing up for hours in a line, maybe in the line in a bank or something. So lots of things that, that can annoy you or irritate you. Number 5, how does a grasshopper move? How does a grasshopper move? If you remember the grasshopper, the small insect, does he walk or does it walk? How does a grasshopper move? From the name itself, grasshopper. So, yes, that's correct. It hops. It hops. Hops, it means a small jump. It hops. From the name itself, grasshopper, this is the name of the insect. So how does it move? It hops. Number 6, what color is a penguin? Where do they usually live? What color is a penguin? Where do they usually live? I think this is an easy one here. If you know a penguin, maybe you can just look at the picture in the book. What color is a penguin and where do they usually live? So the answer here, penguins are black and white. They live in cold places such as Antarctica. Again, penguins are black and white. They live in cold places. Of course, penguins don't live in hot places. They usually live in cold places. For example, here, Antarctica. Number 7 here, how many legs does a centipede have? How many legs does a centipede have? If you remember our article before, the joke about the centipede going to get a pizza, who took so long because he was wearing his shoes. So how many legs does a centipede have? So let's look at the answer here. Some centipedes have 100 legs, but not all of them. So it's not fixed. Some centipedes have 100 legs and some have less, maybe 44 and so on. So some centipedes have 100 legs. Imagine someone who has 100 legs trying to wear his shoes. Of course, he will take more than an hour just to wear his shoes. That's why in the joke, the centipede took a long time to go and get the pizza. Number 8, how does a snail move? How does a snail move? So, how does a snail move? Does it run? Of course not. So the answer here is snail move very slowly. Snails move very slowly. Of course, we know that snails move extremely, also not very, extremely slowly. So this is the article that we have read in our previous lesson. The first one is about the joke about the mouse and the cat. When the mouse barked, ruff, ruff here, so he's speaking dog language here. That's why at the end, the father of the mouse replied, "You see, son, it pays to be bilingual." Bilingual here means that he can speak mouse and also he can speak the dog language. Also, the second joke here, the joke about the student and the parrot. Also, we took the joke about the truck driver and the penguins who went to the zoo, and the first truck driver saw the second one coming back from the zoo and going to the restaurant because they have a few money left, if you remember them. And also here you can see in this picture that penguins, as we said before, are black and white and they live in cold places. You can see the snow here, such as Antarctica. A grasshopper, this is the joke about the grasshopper and the centipede who went to get the pizza. So they decided to send the centipede. The snail and grasshopper wait and wait. The longer they wait, the hungrier they get. Finally, when an hour passes, so an hour has passed, the centipede still hasn't returned. They irritated. So the grasshopper and the snail were irritated, were annoyed, because the centipede took so long to bring the pizza. And the grasshopper decided to go look for him. They get as far as the front door, where they find the centipede sitting there putting on his shoes, because he has maybe more than 100 legs. And also we took some hints about some of the words here. Astonished, the student was amazed or very surprised because the parrot understood the lecture. So astonished, for example, it could mean surprised or amazed. Bilingual, of course, the mouse barked. In other words, it scared the cat by speaking dog's language. So this is bilingual, to speak two languages. Fascinated, the parrot was very interested in the lecture. So fascinated means here to be interested in something. Irritated, the grasshopper and the snail were annoyed. So this is the same meaning as irritated, because the centipede was taking a long time to get the pizza. Puzzled, the truck driver is confused here. So puzzled is the same meaning as confused. Remarkable, the parrot is unusual and noticeable because he's able to understand the lecture. So remarkable means unusual and noticeable. And also we took the culture note here about humor often relates to the history and culture of a particular country or region. If you remember, we talked about jokes and cultures. What is funny in some culture or using some specific language may be not funny in other culture or in another language. Also, we took the language builder here. The word centipede comes from two Latin words. Centum means 100 here. Centum means 100, and pes means foot. Pes means foot. Literally, it means 100 feet. So it means literally 100 feet. So these are today's objectives: to write a joke about two people and also act out a joke. Can you act out a joke? Act it out. Try to do it live, let's say. So these are today's objectives. Think of a joke you know that involves two people with your partner. Write the joke as a role play and perform it for the class. So again, think of a joke you know that involves two people with your partner, with your colleague. Write the joke as a role play and perform it for the class. So you and your friend or your colleague try to come up with a joke, write a joke on a paper, and when you are finished, try to roll it out, to act it out, role play. Stand up in front of the class and act out the joke to see if the class will laugh or not, to see if it's funny or not. So again, think of a joke you know. Maybe you can come up with a new joke, or just write one that you know that involves two people with your partner. Write the joke as a role play and perform it for the class. Here is some additional activity. These jokes play off different meanings and sounds of English words. Try to explain them. So these jokes play on different meanings and sounds of English words. So these jokes are related to the English language sounds, let's say. So we'll be trying to explain them. The first one: what's smarter than a talking cat? The first question here: what's smarter than a talking cat? So this is obviously a joke. What's smarter than a talking cat? Is there something smarter than a talking cat? So let's see the answer here. A spelling bee. A spelling bee. So the play word here is on the word bee. A bee, as we know, is an insect and a competition for spellers. So the word bee, as we know it, is an insect, the small insect bee, which brings us honey. And it's also a name of the competition for spelling. So the competitions for spelling words, they call them spelling bee. So the joke here, what's smarter than a talking cat? A spelling bee. So this is playing on words. The second question, what do mice do when they're at home? The second question here, what do mice do? So the plural of mouse is mice. We don't say mouses, it's mice. Again, what do mice do when they are at home? When mice are at home, what do they do? So let's see the joke here. Mousework, a play on housework. So instead of saying housework, we say mousework. So this is playing on the pronunciation of the word. Mousework, so it means it's close to housework. The last question here, what do mice do when they get into the refrigerator? What do mice do when they get into the refrigerator? So let's see the answer here. They make mice cubes. They make mice cubes. That's obviously a play on ice cubes. When they get into the refrigerator, they make mice cubes instead of ice cubes. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.